I'd now like to call our executive director up to the stage. Augustine has been our executive director for 2.5 years now. Prior to coming to Dubuque, his background includes nonprofit work, political grassroots activism, working for a state representative, and working in finance. Over the last month, Augustine, Molly, and Max have been in the process of adopting a baby boy named Luke. Luke has been diagnosed with a condition called Prader-Willi syndrome, which will affect his development. I ask you all to keep the Payne family in your prayers during this time. As a representative of the board and everyone here tonight, I want to thank Augustine, Molly, and their 2 sons, Max and Luke, for their devotion to Dubuque County Right to Life. Please join me in welcoming Augustine to the stage.
Thank you all. Thank you, Kate. I'm honored to be the director. I'm honored to be here with so many wonderful people. Be in Dubuque. It's been a wonderful time. It's been a wonderful 2.5 years that my wife and I are truly blessed. Each year, there's approximately 1 million children who lose their life through abortion nationwide. The last known stat for Iowa is in 2022 when we had 4,062 abortions in Iowa that year. The biggest age category that comprised those abortions was 18 to 25. And there's also studies out there that show that when someone has an abortion and they get pregnant again, they can be more likely to have another abortion. So how do we counter that problem? How do we reach those people in that age range? The impact of reaching those people would not only bring down the abortion rate in that category, but potentially even other categories as the women continue to age. And so one of the things we'd like to focus on, aside from the activities that you see in the program and the things that we do throughout the year, is doing outreach on universities and colleges. And because unfortunately our universities and colleges are either normally silent or not on our side. Teachers are not, they're indoctrinating students to believe that abortion is needed for some people, or that women should have the right to do whatever they want with their body, even if it includes killing their preborn child in their womb. So we need a presence there, and not only will we be countering one of the highest age categories for abortion rates, but also that's where young minds are formed, and unless we are there, there is no intervention happening. So you may recall from last year is that we did bumper magnets with our 800 number. Now, unfortunately, as we were seeing those on cars around town, was that we were realizing that the number wasn't really easily seen. It was a nice magnet, but the most important information was not being seen. So you may have seen already on your tables are magnets with a larger 800 number, and the pregnant question mark is much bigger. These are also, we tried to make these magnets as neutral as possible because we don't want people who are having second thoughts about their pregnancy and their crisis to think about whether they should call or not. We want them to reach out and talk to people that are waiting to help them and connect them to the resources. So our logo was intentionally left off. There's also multiple color schemes, and some of that is so that way hopefully you can find one that would fit best with your color of your car. Unless that is you have yellow or pink or something that I'm not sure if they would work. So please take one home. Let's spread this all around Dubuque. Let's let people know that there's help available, even just the simple action of driving our car around town. To also counter that age demographic, we also will continue to educate through Pro-Life Awareness Week. Some of you may recall we have a speaker come into town and we take them to the area junior high in the high schools and the colleges and have talks around town, and includes a couple of membership events. So that will continue. Also, our Ambassadors for Life will continue. And this year, we have high school students from 5 area schools. Now, I noticed they didn't stand up at the first time. I think they missed it the first time. So if the Ambassadors for Life could please stand up so we can acknowledge you. Thank you. So a few of them couldn't join us tonight because of school schedules, but we're greatly appreciative of their help today to make this event happen, as well as the work they continue to do in their group. As I mentioned, we have students from 5 area schools. They come together to form a coalition of people who are wanting to advance the pro-life cause in our area, in their communities, in their schools. And one of the other functions that they're here to hopefully broaden our horizons to the youth. So they're planning activities and executing events, and one of the upcoming events will be our summer camp, which that will happen this coming summer. Soon I'll have Teresa Braun come up and share that with us, but a moment about the impact of having young people formed in high school who are ready to stand up for life is so many people so many stories that we hear about where women are in college and they find themselves to be pregnant. And normally those stories that end with choosing life have the common thread of they had a fellow peer say, "You can do this, and we'll help you. We'll help you through this pregnancy. There's help available." And the other one is, another common story is when somebody enters college believing that abortion should be allowed, that a peer says, "No, there's another way to see this issue," and they have good dialogue, good conversations about this issue. So I think it is very important to form them in high school, to have ambassadors then will go on to college and workplace to be there to plant the seeds of the pro-life message in the hearts that they encounter. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Teresa Braun up, our Ambassador for Life. Please give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Teresa Braun, and I'm a senior at Beckman Catholic High School in Dyersville. Tonight, I'm speaking to you on behalf of the Ambassadors for Life, which is the DCRTL's group for high schoolers who want to be involved in the pro-life movement. I've been a member for the past 2 years since it was started in 2022. This group has been such a blessing as it has given me an opportunity to become more educated in the pro-life cause and make good friends who share my beliefs. As my generation gets older, and many of us are starting to head off to college, myself included, next year, we are starting to encounter people who disagree with us and find ourselves in situations where we have to defend life. If young people are not taught how to engage in healthy discussion with the opposing side, we will lose confidence, or even worse, become swayed when the other side seems to be more persuasive. We are the next generation of pro-life advocates, members of the post-Roe generation, and I believe it is important for us to start getting involved. I'm speaking to you tonight to tell you about an opportunity me and my fellow ambassadors are putting together for any pro-life high schoolers in the area, incoming freshmen through outgoing seniors who might feel the same way and want a taste of the fruits I've experienced through the Ambassadors for Life program. This opportunity will grant teens the opportunity to learn more about the pro-life cause, become more equipped in defending their position, and spend time with other teens who share a passion for the cause. It is called the Generations for Life Camp. The Generations for Life Camp will take place Thursday, July 11th through Saturday, July 13th this summer. It'll be an overnight camp and will take place at the Bean Farm. Pictures are on this slide. It is located in Scotch Grove, Iowa, about 40 minutes outside of Dubuque. Again, this will be an educational and fun experience. We plan on hearing talks from a few speakers, eating great food, engaging in fruitful discussions, and participating in many fun team-building activities and games, some of which might include water balloons. Some of you might know, we tried to put this camp on last year, but we learned that we started planning a little too late so that everyone's summer was already booked. However, this year we've started earlier and we already have people signed up. So hopefully some of you in this room will consider joining us, or if you have kids and grandkids, we'll consider inviting them. To encourage as many people as possible to attend, the cost will be $50 per person. with a $25 deposit required for registration. Scholarships are also available if needed. If you are interested or have any questions, feel free to come talk to Augustine or me or any of our fellow ambassadors who are all seated at table 18. We all have these bronze name tags on. They're very nice. We would love to hear from you. Thank you for your attention and for your support of Dubuque County Right to Life. It is with your support that we are able to have this group and to put on a camp with reduced cost to the student. So thanks again for your time, and I hope all of you will consider attending or inviting your children and grandchildren to the Generations for Life camp. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. As Teresa mentioned, it is through your support that we're able to make this camp available at a reduced cost. So that will be later tonight where you'll be able to have the opportunity to partner with us. So that way we can continue to offer these programs for our high schoolers. Another focus for 2024 is creating thought-provoking dialogue through strategic outreach. This is a new area of focus with the overturn of Roe versus Wade, and with things being apparent that they're very hostile out in the general public and in the media. We want to give special thanks to Loris Duhawks for Life for hosting our first poll table, us allowing us to do a poll table on campus, where we were asking the question, should abortion remain legal? Students were very eager to share their opinions, and we had many great conversations with them. So a great experience. That led us to want to try this at the Dubuque County Fair, a different type of environment, wider range of ages and such. So we tried at the Dubuque County Fair this past July. We had two booths. One was our official booth that had all of our materials and our name and our fetal development model set. And the other booth, which was in a different part of the building, had, should abortion remain legal? Simple question, homemade sign, said yes, no, and it depends. For some of you, if you have a good view, you might be able to see it in the slideshow. It's the lower left-hand picture. And so with that, we were able to have a lot of great conversations once again. Good experience. And some of those conversations ran as long as 20, 25 minutes, or run up to 45 minutes. Because people are processing a lot. They don't get this opportunity to talk up through issues. They get one side or the other, or they see the media not discussing it properly in an intelligent way. And so some of the things that we encounter with people, we'll come across a few different types of people. And so some of those lead to perspective change. We call it a perspective change, so it's not quite like a complete mind change, but it's like, I never thought about that in that way before. Or you've given me some good things to think about. That's very interesting. You got some good points there. So it's not, they're wrestling with what we give them. Not necessarily changing their mind on the spot, but wrestling with that. So that's what we call a perspective change. The others are mind changes, and those are awesome. Those are great celebration. And occasionally throughout the day, we'll have those happen where we have responses like, yeah, I see where you're coming from and agree with you now. Or another conversation that I remember clearly was after beginning with discussing that abortion should be legal up to 15 weeks and having that conversation, they said at the end that, like, yeah, I think life should be protected, whether it's 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 15 weeks, 30 weeks. So we get to experience those. Those are awesome to experience firsthand. And then another group that comes up, besides those that are adamantly pro-choice, another group that comes up that are a pro-life group. And they are fully pro-life, but they just have questions about what would you say in this situation, or what would you say in that situation. This table allows us to reach so much of a diverse audience, and it was a great experience. And we even had one guy who was pro-life and wondering how to respond to the rape question. And we went through several minutes of laying it out and such. And at the end, he said, that's the most diplomatic way I've ever heard how to respond to that. It was really heart-touching, and that was the goal of, you may have heard of the Equip for Life course that we do here. That's our goal. It's 8 modules, 10 modules of diving deeper into these topics. That way we're able to have more fruitful and better conversations with people regardless of their beliefs. So by doing the poll table, are able to have mind changes, see perspective changes, and those who don't have any movement in their opinion, hopefully we at least place a pebble in their shoe, so that way, metaphorically, hopefully they'll be able to walk away with something to think about that will bother them, that this is a human being that should be worthy of equal rights, the same as you and I, an equal right to life. And so we get to see a lot, and it's great. And so what we'd like to do in 2024 is not just do the county fair, but also do 3 other outreaches to try to build slowly. So that way we're doing more outreaches, we're having more conversations in different venues. One of those will hopefully be the Dubuque Farmers Market downtown. So getting out into the community and having these conversations. Another goal for 2024, to reach that age demographic we're talking about, the 18 to 25-year-old range. We hope to do a pilot program where we're going to hire a college student part-time to work 5 to 7 hours to work on their college campus, to bring the pro-life message to that campus, and to have conversations on a regular basis each week with people that agree with them, strangers, they don't know their position, conversations with people who don't agree with them, or even just sharing resources, making sure resources are available for a college student if they were to become pregnant, making sure that's available for people. And also, as well as sharing pro-life information with those who agree with them, so that way the pro-life people can also become better equipped moving out into the world as they graduate from college. I see this as laser focusing on our goal to reach that demographic, because a lot of these 18 to 25, 18 to 22, or 18 to 23 is within college. So this is a prime demographic, a prime place to reach that age range. And we'll be talking to future bankers, business owners, psychologists, doctors, nurses. The list will go on, as I'm sure you could just name your own field, and it's probably going to be present there at college, before they even launch into their careers. So we get to have those conversations before they get embedded in their careers or form their hardcore opinions, as we see sometimes as people continue to get older. And if we don't do it, who will? If we don't go to the college campuses, who will go to them? Who's going to bring the pro-life message there? As I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, our colleges and universities are not doing that. Switching gears a little bit, another focus of Dubuque County Right to Life is assisted suicide, or sometimes known as euthanasia. Unfortunately, this has become a more discussed topic recently. I say unfortunately because legislators are proposing it in various states. One of those being the pro-death state of California, where they're trying to make it legal for people with early dementia, or eliminate the waiting period, a waiting period that's put in place to try to make sure people don't have second thoughts, that they're just not rushing into this. They're eliminating a waiting period for people to kill themselves. And it's also become prevalent in our neighboring states, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota. So these states are advocating for people people should be allowed to kill themselves when, unfortunately, when life has gotten tough or suffering has gotten hard. There's no doubt about that. This is a hard situation that these people find themselves in. But we all know that their life matters and that killing themselves is not the solution. So with the increased push from the legislators, it calls for renewed focus from our organization to make educational resources on this area available. So first we need to inform ourselves of all the information available, learn what's out there, become better equipped to talk about it with our neighbors and friends, to learn about what life-affirming care looks like and what's available in time of suffering, and then to be able to share that with our family and friends, so that way these are people that will probably be answering for us or another relative when they face those hard times. So seeing what's out there, perhaps creating new stuff if we need it. Secondly, in the next year, we also want to do an event centered around education on this issue. So the harms of assisted suicide, or a seminar, an all-day or half-day seminar that is focused on this issue, so that way you all and your friends and family can come and listen and learn about this issue. We can prevent this. The goal is to prevent this poison ideology of to just kill yourself if life is getting hard from seeping into our communities and into our state. The above steps are additional steps that we hope to take aside from all the things that we do from year to year. We couldn't do this without our supporters. We want to be here 30 plus years, 30 life dinners, but over 30 years as an organization. We wouldn't be here without our supporters. So for those who have been here for all those years, or even just a couple of years or a year, or this is your first time, thank you so much for being here. In order to do what I just discussed, to be at the college campuses, to educate on assisted suicide, we're going to rely on your partnership, what God is calling you to do today, to be part of this mission to spread a culture of life in our area. As Kate mentioned, there will be 2 asks tonight. Our goal is $160,000 to continue to do what we have done in the past, and also to continue to build on the things, on the initiatives that I mentioned today. One ask will be what you feel called to give tonight towards the mission. And then the other is how you can partner with us throughout the year. We ask to become a monthly donor. We realize that not everyone can do a big gift all in one night. If you can, great. We love that. But then some people would like to become monthly partners. We greatly appreciate those who have become monthly partners because they allow us to know that the steady stream of income is happening, that it comes in every month. It's just so nice to know that when needs come up, we know what's coming in that month for sure. So thank you for all those who already do that. But then, yeah, there will be an ask to become a monthly partner with us. Each donation tonight will help us build that cultural life that we've been talking about. Every dollar invested tonight will go towards that cause. We're grateful for all of our sponsors and underwriters who have made this evening available to all of you so that way you can come and learn. Some of you might be your first time to come and learn more about our organization, what we're planning to do. So that way every dollar you invest tonight is not going towards the meal, it's going towards the cause.